Good morning. Welcome to the lecture series of object-oriented programming concepts in Python. In today's class, we try to discuss about the polymorphism in Python. So, in today's class, we try to discuss about the introduction to the polymorphism, and we try to discuss about the function overloading and operator overloading. The definition of the polymorphism is many forms. In Python programming language, it supports the polymorphism using the function overloading, and another one is the operator overloading. So, in today's class, we try to discuss about the function overloading in Python programming language. The Python programming language supports the inbuilt polymorphic functions. The examples of the inbuilt polymorphic functions are: one is the length function. len is one of the predefined function, and if you pass a string as a parameter to the len function, it simply returns the length of the particular string. For example, if you pass Kumar as a parameter to the length function, it simply returns the value 5 because the total length of the Kumar string is 5. Similarly, if you pass the parameter as a list, it simply returns how many number of elements are existing on the particular list. For example, if we take the length of the list consisting the 3 elements 10, 20 and 30, then automatically it returns the value is 3. Based on these two examples, we understand that len is one of the predefined function. Based on the parameter we pass, if you pass the parameter as a string, it simply returns the length of the string. For example, if we take the Kumar, it simply returns 5. And similarly, if you pass the list, it simply returns the number of elements are existing on the particular list. So automatically len simply works based on the parameters we pass to the len function. Now, we try to discuss how to define the user-defined functions to work differently based on the number of parameters we are passing. Here, we try to define a function add. It's simply consisting of the 3 parameters x, y and z, and we take the z is equal to 0, that is the default parameter value of the z is 0, and the function simply returns some of the values we pass to the particular function add. And we simply call the function add with the parameters 2, 3, that is we are not passing the third parameter, then it simply returns the value is the 5 because the sum of the two numbers 2 and 3 is 5. Similarly, we call the function add with the 3 parameters 2, 3, 4, it simply returns of the sum of the 3 values 2, 3 and 4, its value is equal to the 9. So automatically add is one of the user defined function, and it simply pass the 2 parameters, it simply perform the addition of the 2 numbers, or if you pass the 3 parameters, it simply returns the sum of the 3 numbers. So automatically add function is also works based on the number of parameters we pass to the function. So this is one of the simple example for the user defined polymorphic functions. Now we try to discuss about the method overriding in Python. So for example, we try to define the class is bird, and in that bird class we want to define the 2 functions. One is the intro, it gives the introduction of the particular bird, that is nothing but we try to define there are many types of birds, that is the statement we want to display whenever we simply call the introduction function, whenever we simply call the intro function. And similarly, we want to define another function is the flight, and whenever we call the flight function, we want to display the message is the most of the birds can fly but some cannot. So that is the message we want to display on the flight function. So here we define the bird as a class. It's simply consisting of the 2 functions. One is intro, it simply displays there are many types of birds, and similarly we define the another function is the flight, and we want to display the most of the birds can fly but some cannot. Now we want to define the sparrow. The sparrow is a class, is derived from the bird class, and we want to define the flight. So here we are using the inheritance, that is the sparrow is inherited from the bird class, and we try to define the flight. Actually the flight class is available in the bird class, but here we try to define one more time, that itself indicates that it is a method overriding, and whenever we call the flight function from the object of the sparrow, automatically it simply executes the flight function. So automatically here in the flight function of the sparrow, we simply define the statement is the sparrows can fly. So that is the statement we simply define. And similarly, we want to define another class, that is the ostrich. So here in the ostrich class is also be derived from the bird class. So here also we are using the single inheritance. The bird, here also we are using the inheritance. The bird is the super class. From that bird class we try to derive the ostrich class. And here also we define the function flight, and it simply displays that ostrich cannot fly. That is the message we want to display. So here in this example, we defined the bird is the base class. From the bird class, we derived the sparrow and the ostrich are the two subclasses we derived. And there we simply using the method overriding to define the flight function. In that flight function of the sparrow, it simply displays that sparrows can fly. And similarly, the flight function of the ostrich, we simply display that ostrich cannot fly. Now we try to how to create the objects of the bird, sparrow and ostrich classes. So here in this example, obj underscore bird, that is nothing but the object of the bird class, and similarly obj underscore spr, that is the object of the sparrow class, and obj underscore ost, that is nothing but the object of the ostrich class. Now we try to call the method object of the bird class, that is obj underscore bird dot intro. So they simply displays that there are many types of birds. And similarly, we try to call the method object of the object underscore bird dot flight. It simply displays that most of the birds can fly, but some cannot. So automatically we simply call the flight function of the bird class flight function. It simply displayed. Now we try to use the sparrow object, that is the obj underscore sparrow dot intro. So we simply call the introduction function of the object sparrow. This is derived from the base class of the bird. So automatically it simply displays that there are many types of birds. But whenever we simply call the object underscore sparrow dot flight function, it simply displays that sparrows can fly. Actually, we defined the flight function in the bird class, as well as we are using the method overriding. We are also defining the flight function in the sparrow class. And whenever we are calling the flight function of the object of the sparrow class, automatically it executes the flight function of the sparrow class. For that reason, sparrows can fly message is displayed on the screen. Now we try to call the introduction function of the ostrich object, that is obj underscore ost dot intro. It simply displays that there are many types of birds, and we simply call the flight of the object of the ostrich class. It simply displays that ostriches cannot fly. So in that way, here we defined the flight function. Flight function is here the flight function is defined using the method overriding. And if we call from the base class, it's a base class flight function. If we call the flight function from the base class object, then automatically the flight function defined in the base class will be executed. And if we are calling the flight function from the derived class object, then automatically the derived class flight function will be displayed on the screen. I hope you clearly understand how the method overriding can be implemented in the Python programming language. Now we try to take another example. So we want to define the vehicle, and here in the vehicle is one of the class we want to, here we want to define the vehicle class. In that vehicle class, we are assuming that we want to take the data member is model, and here we are assigning the model value as the model parameter values to the object variable of the model. And similarly here vehicle model is one of the base class we want to define, and the vehicle model simply displays that vehicle model name is what is the name of the particular model we want to display, that is the self dot model. It simply displays the particular object model value is simply displayed on the screen. Now we want to define the bike class. It is derived from the vehicle class. So for that reason, vehicle is passed as a parameter. So automatically the bike class is derived from the vehicle class. So automatically the each and every object of the bike class is also consisting the model is the object data member, data member. So the model is the object data member of is existing in the vehicle class, and we want to define the vehicle model. That is nothing but we want to method override the vehicle model, because the vehicle model is also available in the vehicle class, and we want to define again in the bike class. So it is the method overriding. In that one, we want to display the bike model name is self.model. So in the parent class, we are displaying the vehicle model name is what is the model name of the model. But here in the derived class bike, we want to display the message bike model name is what is the name of the particular model. Similarly, we want to define a class car. It is also derived from the vehicle, and here we define the vehicle model. It simply displays the message is the car model name is self.model. What is the model we want to define? And similarly, we want to define another class is the aeroplane, and it is also derived from the vehicle class, but we are not defined any data members and the member functions. So automatically, what are the data member, that is the model data member, is also be existing in the aeroplane object, and similarly, it is also be having the vehicle model method. We are not overridden, that is, it simply uses the parent class vehicle model method. Vehicle model is only used. Now we try to define the vehicle info. So this is one of the user defined function, vehicle info. Its main purpose is it simply takes any object and simply that object vehicle model method is simply executed. So automatically we define the vehicle info is one of the user defined function. It takes one of the object, and by using that object the vehicle model method simply executed on that particular object. Now we try to create scooty is one of the bike object, and here we are passing the parameters. The model name of the scooty is the Honda Activa 5G, and similarly we create a car. It is a car object, and the car model name is the Honda Sports, that is the name model of the car. And similarly we created the Boeing. It is the one of the aeroplane object, and its name model name value is the Boeing. And now we try to use the for statement to display the each and every object model method we want to use. So automatically here we simply call the vehicle info. The already vehicle info is one of the user defined function. Its main purpose is it simply called the vehicle model method. So automatically whenever we are using the for loop, for each object in scooty, comma car, comma Boeing, that is this first time the for each object it is representing the scooty, second time it is uses the car object, and third time it uses the Boeing. So automatically we simply call the method vehicle info of each object. It simply calls the vehicle model method of the scooty. Then automatically it displays that bike model name is the Honda Activa 5G, and similarly it calls the car vehicle model method. Then automatically it displays that the car model name is the Honda Sports, and similarly it simply calls the Boeing. Then automatically it displays that vehicle model name is Boeing. In that way it simply displays the output. So this is the another example of the overriding. We simply call the same information vehicle info of each object, that is we simply call the method vehicle info of each object. Then automatically for every object vehicle model method is invoked. So automatically based on the implementation, if the object is belongs to the parent class, the parent class method is executed. If the object is belongs to the derived class, the derived class vehicle model method will be executed. So I hope you understand that how to create the method overriding in Python and how we are able to call from a particular function. Now we try to discuss one more example for the method overriding. So here we want to create the shape. For every shape, either it may be the circle or the rectangle or the square, we are able to calculate the area as well as the perimeter. So automatically here we define the class name is the shape, and here we are using the define the perimeter area. We are not defined in the base class how to calculate this, because based on the object, if you are using the rectangle, the area calculation formula is varies, and similarly if the square, the area calculation formula, parameters and formula is varies. Similarly perimeter also to calculate based on the object, which equation we are using is varies. For that reason in the basic class we simply define the method without any statements. So we simply define the area and pass, that is there is no statements are existing to calculate the area. Similarly the perimeter is also be the we simply define in empty functions. Now we simply define the rectangle class. Try to define the rectangle class. It is derived from the shape. So automatically the rectangle class is having the inherited the two methods. One is the perimeter and another one is the area. And next one is already we know that every rectangle consisting of the two parameters width and height. For that reason in the constructor we are passing the width and height as the parameters, and those are assigned to the object variables of the width and height. For that reason here we define the self.width is equal to width and self.height is equal to height. Based on this one, every rectangle object consisting of the two object data members, one is the width and another one is the height. Now we try to define the area of the rectangle. So automatically we are using this statement to define the area of the rectangle, and here we are simply displaying that area of the rectangle is, we simply display the product of the width into height. For that reason, we write the statement print. We are using the area of the rectangle is self dot width into self dot height. Here this is the formatted output. So automatically, based on the object we are called to the particular area, that object width and height product is displayed on the screen. Similarly, we have defined the parameter. Already we know that the formula to calculate the parameter is the 2 into width plus height. For that reason, we define the parameter of self. It is nothing but the print. The formatted output of the parameter is 2 into width plus height. So automatically simply calculate the particular object width plus height is multiplied by 2. That is represented as the parameter of the rectangle. Similarly, we try to define the another class circle. It is also be derived from the shape. And here already we know that for every circle, we need to maintain the radius of the circle. For that reason, here the parameter we passed as the radius, and then the self dot radius is equal to radius. So automatically, for every object created in the circle, it is having the radius information. And here we calculated the area. Already we know that the formula to calculate the area of the circle is pi r square. For that reason, we are using the math dot to pi to get the value of the 22 by 7. Into r square we need to calculate. For that reason, we define the area, print area of circle is pi into r square. Similarly, we try to define the perimeter. Already we know that the formula of the perimeter is the 2 into 2 pi r. For that reason, 2 into math dot pi into self dot radius. So automatically which object we are passed for the perimeter, it simply displays the particular circle object perimeter, because it simply takes the radius of the particular object and calculate the perimeter, and that information is displayed on the screen. Here we created the rectangle object. So automatically rectangle object is equal to the rectangle of 10, 20. It itself indicates that we created the rectangle object with the height value is equal to 10 and width value is equal to 20. Similarly, we simply call the circle object and we pass it the 10 as a parameter, then automatically radius of the circle value is the 10. Now we are using the for each object in the rectangle object, circle object, and shape type of each object. So automatically it simply displays that area of the rectangle is 200 and perimeter is 60 and area of the circle is 3.14, and similarly the perimeter of the particular circle is this one. Now we try to define a function. Shape type. The shape type is simply take the shape object as a parameter, and it simply calls the two methods. One is the particular object area and perimeter. So the shape type is one of the user defined function. It takes the one of the shape object, and which object we pass it to the shape type of function, that object area and perimeter functions are displayed on the screen. Now we try to discuss with an example. First we are creating the rectangle object. Now we try to create an object, rectangle object is equal to the rectangle of 10, 20. So already we know that at the time of the rectangle constructor, the first parameter is representing the width and second parameter is representing the height. For that reason, the rectangle object width attribute consisting the value 10 and the height attribute consisting the value 20. Similarly, we created the another object is the circle object, with circle object is equal to circle of 10. So here we are passing the parameter is 10. For that reason, the circle object radius attribute consisting of the value 10. Now we try to use the for each object in rectangle object, circle object. So automatically it simply calls the method shape type of each object. First it passes the rectangle object as a parameter. For that reason, it simply calls the rectangle object dot area, and similarly rectangle object dot perimeter it simply displays. For that reason, it displays the value is the 10 into 20 is the 200 as the area of the rectangle, and similarly the perimeter is the 2 into width plus height, that is nothing but the 2 into 10 plus 20, that is the 2 into 30 is equal to 60 is displayed as a perimeter. Similarly, second parameter it passed as a circle object. Then circle object parameter is the 10 is the radius. For that reason, it simply calculates the area is nothing but the pi r square, that is nothing but the 3.14159 into 100. We get the value is the 314.159. Similarly, the perimeter we need to calculate, that is nothing but the we need to calculate the perimeter, that is the 2 pi r, that is nothing but the 2 into 3.14159 into 10, then it displays the value is equal to the 62.8318. So automatically here we understand that we simply call the shape type of each object, but based on the object we passed. For example, we passed the circle, automatically the circle object's perimeter and the area functions are called. Similarly, we passed the rectangle object, the rectangle object's area and the perimeter functions are called. So this is the one of the best example for the polymorphism. So I hope in today's class we discussed about the function overloading, how we are able to use the existing overloading functions. Example is the length function. Similarly, how the user is able to define his own functions. Example is we are able to discuss about the shape, how to calculate the area and the perimeter of the circle object or the rectangle object. Based on the object we are passing, for that particular object, perimeter and the area is calculated. I hope you understand the class. In the next class, we will discuss about the operator overloading. Thank you.